Good morning, church. It's another beautiful morning. It's a Tuesday morning, and I pray that as we begin our days with God, that we can find a blessing and that we can meditate upon what God has for us this morning. So with that, let's begin. Now, when I was younger, I used to always want to get gifts that were cool, the trendy gifts, right? All the gifts that other kids my age got. But when I was growing up, I remember always getting things like notebooks, pencils, school supplies, and clothes, especially clothes. And we would call these things practical gifts. But for a kid that's growing up, they don't want practical gifts. They want the cool gifts, so to say. Okay. But as I've gotten older, I've started to come to appreciate these practical gifts, especially clothes. And maybe you're at this stage as well, or maybe you're just not there yet, or maybe you're kind of starting to really like clothes and receiving clothes as gifts. Now, there are two ways in which I respond to the clothes that I get. One, I fall in love with it and I wear it like all the time, right? And I'm re-wearing the same thing over and over and over again, and people are like, dude, do you even shower? Do you even wash that, right? Disclaimer, I do wash my clothes. I just really like it, and so I wear it all the time, right? Sometimes I get new clothes, and don't get me wrong, I just don't wear it, or I put it to the side and just wait till later and then wear it later. It's not because I don't like it. It's not because it's not my style. I just more comfortable wearing the clothes that I already have. Maybe there's a shirt that I like that's just better, or it just fits better, or I just like the look of it, and so I just wear it more often than any of my new stuff. Or maybe I just think it's, there's nothing wrong with it, so why should I wear something new? Like shoes, for example, right? If I get shoes as a gift, sometimes I think, well, what's wrong with my old shoes? I don't think anything's wrong with it. I'll just keep wearing it until I need to wear my new ones. Now, person to person is different. There's no right or wrong answer to this, but let's just think about this practically, right? Practically speaking, let's say you have a favorite t-shirt. You've had it for 2 to 3 years or so, but it's starting to have like holes in it, or the fabric and material is starting to get a little rough, right? Or maybe there's like these weird stains from, mixing it with other different clothes, or maybe the design of your t-shirt is starting to crack off and it's just not really noticeable and it just looks old. But now let's say you have the shirt, you always wear it, but I give you a brand new t-shirt, right? Better design, maybe newer design, it fits better, there's no holes, right? It's a top quality, good fabric t-shirt. Now, I think it would be kind of weird, and I think we can all agree on this, that if you never wore it and you just threw it in the closet, it was a totally fine shirt, and you just never wore it, it would be a little weird, right? It'd kind of be a waste for just letting it sit in your closet and not actually wear it, right? But also, let's be real, let's think about it, right? Wearing new clothes makes you just feel good, right? When you get like brand new clothes and it's like the first day of school, and so you want to wear it to school, the back to school outfit, or like you get like a new tie, or you get like a new outfit and you want to wear it to church, you want to wear it to a date, you want to wear it when you hang out with your friends, like you want to show people like, look, I got this new clothes, right? And you feel brand new. And hopefully I'm not the only one that feels that way, but maybe you can relate to that. Now, in Ephesians chapter 4, Paul talks about this ideal of Christian living and what that looks like, right? Now, remember, he's talking to a group of Gentile Christian believers, and so he's reminding them what a new life in Jesus Christ really is all about. Now, there's a lot of great stuff in chapter 4, but I like these verses. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22 to 24. It says this: "You were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness." Now, it sounds pretty straightforward, right? But the key word I want you to take away from these few verses is this ideal of put on and put off. You see, what Paul is saying here is he's telling us that we are to put off our old self and to put on the new. And this language is interesting because it's very similar to the ideal of how we put off and put on our clothes, right? What Paul is telling us is we have to change from the old into the new. And it's really a lesson on the ideal of our conduct. Now, let me explain. Think of a person who is just in prison, and in prison they wear prison outfits, right? Prison clothing. But let's say they were set free, yet you see them wearing the same prison clothes that they were given, and they continue to act like prisoners because of what they are wearing. I think the first thing you would do is you would go tell them, hey, like you're not a prisoner anymore. You don't have to wear that, and you don't have to act like that anymore, right? Because you are not a prisoner, you are a free man. Now get this, when Paul tells us to put off our old self and put on the new, notice how he's saying it. He doesn't tell us to wait till you feel a certain way or wait till you go through certain steps. He just says to do it, right? Put on the new now. But you might ask, okay, like why? Like why should I do it? You see, just like putting on new clothes will make you feel better about yourself, make you think of yourself better, give you that confidence, and give you a new kind of demeanor, when you put on new conduct, when you put on a new set of clothes, your attitude, your behavior starts to follow. It starts to change, right? Sometimes we like wearing our old shirts with holes and stains. We're comfortable in the old shirt that we forget there's a brand new shirt right in front of us. We just got to take off the old and put on the new. In the same way, sometimes we become so content with living in our old ways of the world, right? Sometimes we feel like we're stuck, or sometimes we just keep living as if we were still slaves to sin in the world. And sometimes we're just waiting till we feel good about ourselves, or waiting till we feel worthy enough to come to Jesus. But you see, Paul is saying, hey, take off that old way of thinking and put on this new way of thinking. Put on this new conduct, this new outfit, and you'll start to see your attitude, your behavior, and your personality change. You'll start to see yourself differently. And you'll really start to understand and see what Jesus can do in your life, as long as you're willing to put off the old and put on the new. So say goodbye to your old life and say hello to a future with Jesus.